This is a brand new 2025 Explorer ST line. I am not here to talk to you about the Maverick. I'm also not here to tell you or ask you to like or subscribe to my YouTube video or channel. And the reasoning is because I value your time. And the time it could have taken you to like or subscribe this video is valuable time that would be absolutely wasted watching a YouTube video about the Ford Explorer. Or maybe something else, who cares? It's the internet, do what you want to do. Starting in the front, we will have our LED headlights, LED daytime running lights. We have our fog lights down here. We've got our front sensors as well. We're gonna have a front camera right underneath the Ford symbol. And in beautiful lettering, it says Explorer right here. So that way we know what kind of vehicle we're driving. Along the side, we're gonna have this ST badge lined up right here. Black skull mirror caps right here. We're going to have keyless entry, keyless access. We're going to have a black roof on this particular one. And then going to the very back, we'll again have our Explorer lettering here. And then we're going to have our backup sensors, our LED tail lights that go over to our hatch. We have our tow hitch, and we have our 7 and 4-prong wiring harness. This model does include a power tailgate. In the back, you'll also find your manual seats that go down for your third row. And then right here, you're going to have some storage, and actually a pretty big storage compartment because now it comes with a fix-a-flat kit instead of a spare tire that is optional. And then right here, you got a little storage compartment here as well. Right on the side, you will have a little 12-volt socket. And then you've got USB-Cs right on the side right here. And you also happen to have tie-down points. So if you need to tie down your luggage, you can tie them down. As a rear passenger, I feel pretty comfortable. I have plenty of views from the right side towards the front, the huge sunroof, and all the way to the right side. New for 2025 is going to be this nice large screen. There, much better. We're going to have a Apple or Google, sorry, not Apple, but Google based system. So this is actually Google Maps. If you log in here, you log into your Google account, it is pretty nice because all of your Google Maps and locations that are on your phone are going to show up on here. If you do pay for the subscription, you get some other goodies in here, such as a pretty Google based system. One of the best systems on this Google platform is the ability to watch YouTube videos when you're waiting. Now, as soon as you put it in drive, it's going to disappear just like this. And it says you can't use this feature while driving. But with the Google-based system, you do have Google Maps, which is a pretty nice mapping feature. And you do have 3D buildings and traffic. The nice thing is if you log into your Google account, all of your Google locations are going to show up in here. So for example, if you created a Google list for like a road trip, it's going to show up in here, which is really nice. You do of course still have a lot of your settings from this screen here, but they have simplified it or made it simpler. Your settings are here. It's in this other menu, but it's not too how do you say it, it's not too confusing. That's the best way to do it here. Here's something cool. If we're looking at the map here, we can also see it right here on the dash right there. Here is a really cool feature. If I have it in drive and I shut the car off, it will put itself back in park. This is also true if I simply remove the driver's seatbelt and open the driver's door, it will also put itself in park. Another feature that the ST line offers is something called Blue Cruise. You do have to pay for it. You do get a free small trial, but I think it's worth the money depending on where you live. Let me explain. But first, we got to exit the parking lot. We're going out to the highway here, and I can kind of demonstrate what it will do, but I actually don't have a Blue Cruise highway anywhere around here. I need to drive for about 45 minutes to the nearest Blue Cruise highway. So for us, we live here in Astoria, Oregon. That's going to be Highway 26, just past Banks, which is outside of Portland. And I think the other one is gonna be near like Longview on Highway 30. But we do have some other features that we can use on a day-to-day basis without using the full Blue Cruise capability, which I'll explain to you in a moment, and I'll explain how it works. First thing we do is we turn the cruise control on. And the nice thing about the Fords, especially with these newer ones, when you turn the cruise control on for the first time, it will automatically set it for the speed you are currently driving. So right now it's set at 37 miles an hour because I was driving exactly 37 miles per hour. There's another feature in our settings right here called predictive speed assist. And what that will do is that will actually slow us down and speed us up based on the speed limits that we're coming up to, the speed limits we are exiting, as well as corners. So if we have a sharper corner, it'll actually slow the car down before we get to that corner, which is pretty nice. But with the lane keeping system, and this is a little bit separate, but tied in with Blue Cruise, the lane keeping system here, I can feel the steering wheel up until now. It just canceled because of where we're driving in the road here. And it's re-engaged now. The steering wheel is nice and stiff. It's keeping me in the center of the lane. I could probably go a few seconds, not recommended, not saying you should do it, but I can go a few seconds without having to worry about the car driving off the side of the road here because it can see both lines. Blue Cruise works very similar, but it has to be on a pre-mapped highway. And it works by using a few bits of technology. So there's a camera right up here. It's facing outward. It's looking at the road. It's looking at the lines. It's also looking at vehicles in front of it. It also has a sensor in the very front in the grille that uses radar. And the benefit of this radar system is it can quote unquote see through the dark a little bit better than what a camera can see. It'll also see a little bit better through the fog and rain. So it's a little bit different than like Tesla systems. Tesla system is 100% camera based, which does have its flaws. I'm never gonna say that there can't be any flaws somewhere in here, but the Tesla system does have a big flaw, and that flaw is it cannot see beyond what pretty much you and I can see here, because remember, they're using cameras, not a radar. Radar's using, well, it's radar. If we were in a Blue Cruise area, we would have the ability, and it'll show up on the screen here, it would be a little blue steering wheel. We would actually be able to completely let go of the steering wheel, and it will drive us at whatever speed we have it set at. And when I say let go of the steering wheel, I mean literally let go of the steering wheel. And if you want to pay patty whack with your clapping your hands, you can. Now there's a few things that the car is going to do. There is a little sensor in here. This is an infrared camera placed right here above the steering wheel. It is paying attention to our eyes. And I've noticed on these systems, it will work whether you have sunglasses or not, because it can see through the lenses here. If you're not paying attention to the road, so if you've got your head facing towards the right side, but your eyes are on the road, you're okay. But if you have your head facing forward, but your eyes looking out to the side, rubbernecking, then it will warn you. And if you don't do anything, then it will try to turn that system off. There is this really nice feature that Ford did with the Blue Cruise, which I will not be demonstrating, but I have tried this out on a Mach-E. And that is basically if the driver becomes, let's say you have a medical emergency and you're driving down the highway and you have your Blue Cruise or your adaptive cruise control on. What will happen is as you are driving, the steering wheel is taking in responsiveness from how you're turning. So that's how it knows if you're holding onto the steering wheel or not. So as you put little inputs in, or as the car turns and you're holding onto it, it might turn a little bit sharper, and it senses the torque in the steering wheel. If you don't give it any response and you have your music on, what it will do is it'll start beeping at you, and you don't do anything at all, then what's going to happen next is going to continue beeping, and it's going to turn the radio down, and it will turn your beeping sound up. The next step after that is going to be, if it goes far enough and you don't respond at all, it will actually get on the road here. It will literally start pulsing the brakes, letting you know, hey, you should probably wake up if you're asleep. And then the final step will be to slow the car down to a slow crawl. It will not stop you, but if a car were to pull out in front of you, it's supposed to stop. I haven't tried that part yet, but it will slow the vehicle down, so that way it's going to get the attention of other people driving by. I don't know about you, but if I'm driving past a car that's stopped or going really slow in the middle of the road, the first thing I do as I drive by is I rubberneck and I stare right at the driver to see if they're slumped over the steering wheel. That would be a sign, is what they would call that. Some people have asked, what is adaptive cruise control? Adaptive cruise control is a really nice feature, and on the Fords it uses both the camera and the radar we were talking about earlier instead of just cameras. And what it will do is you set your cruiser just like a normal car, but you have a button here that you can adjust the following distance. And based on the distance between you and the vehicle in front of you, it will automatically slow the car down to match their pace in front. So really nice in traffic, really nice on the highway, especially if you've got a couple cars in front of you. The only thing that annoys me a little bit, and it's more of me and not the car, because the car is doing what it needs to do. If I'm not paying attention and I'm trying to get somewhere and I have the cruise control set at, let's say, 65, and there's that car in front of me and I'm not paying attention, like right now we're slowing down to 50 miles an hour and we're in a 55 mile an hour zone, okay? If I'm not paying attention, I'm gonna be stuck here, 48, 47, we're slowing down and we're in a straightaway with a 55. This is how we drive on the coast. We're doing 45 miles an hour. So 10 below the speed limit. This makes me so happy. Oh, now we're speeding up. Anyways, I haven't touched the accelerator or the brakes. It's slowed me down and keeping me a good safe distance between me and the car in front of me. There are several settings in the screen here, including your normal cruise control. So if you don't like the adaptive cruise control function, or you don't trust it, or you don't want to deal with it, that's okay. You can turn it into normal cruise control. You also have in-lane repositioning. What that does is if you're driving on the freeway, and think of like a freeway with multiple lanes going in the same direction, and you're, let's say, in the middle lane and a truck goes past you in the fast lane, this will move you towards the other side of the lane to give you and that truck a little bit more space. You also have something called lane change assist. We saw this for the first time in the Mach-E a couple years ago, and now it's trickled over into the Explorer. Lane change assist is really cool, especially when you're using Blue Cruise. If your Blue Cruise is active, you're going hands-free, you simply turn on your left or right turn signal, and it will automatically change the lanes for you when it is safe to do so. If you're wondering how it knows if it's safe to do so, that's a good question. It does that by using sensors outside the car. So you've got your backup sensors, your blind spot detection. That's going to be able to see if there's a vehicle right in your blind spot there, and it will not change when somebody's in that spot there. I personally think that system is a better system than when we had our self-parking. We're not really seeing the self-parking function in our cars anymore. And the reasoning is because nobody used it. Very, very few people use it. I've showed some people that, follow up with the customer 3, 4, 5 years later and ask them if they've ever used it. It's pretty rare that somebody actually uses it. At least out here. Maybe in the big cities people like them, but our city out here is not that big. Here's why you should consider the all-new 2025 Ford Explorer. Up front, LED headlights. In the back, all-new taillight design. You have adaptive cruise control standard, blind spot detection standard, and the most important is the all-new Google Sync system. This system works really well. It works with all of your other Google accounts as well, which makes your life seamlessly integrate from your home to your phone and now into your car.